Alright guys, so this was a three-way crossover that you guys voted for on Patreon, and as always, if you'd like to be part of the Patreon polls or whatever, just hit the link below and just hit the first tier if you guys want to help with just voting for videos you want to see here on YouTube. But if you want to have requests done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, and hit the fourth tier. So, anyway, this was a video you guys voted on of a three-way crossover, and this one won by a pretty good margin. It did have some competition, though, here and there. This one won about... this one definitely... It actually was a tie, and I decided to do a tiebreaker. The other ones that were voted on were Powerpuff Girls, Kid Cosmic, and Wander Over Yonder, doing a lot of Craig McCracken characters together. Steven Universe, Tenchi Muyo, and Green Lantern. The other one was Alien, Space Dandy, and Star Trek. And the other one that got voted on was Inspector Gadget, Spy X Family, and G.I. Joe. But this is the one that won by tiebreaker, which was done by me. I decided to do the tiebreaker, and that was Resident Evil, Hellsing, Suicide Squad. Yeah, so we've got Hellsing, Resident Evil, and Suicide Squad all together in what is sure to be just a bloodbath of a story, just an absolute bloodbath of a story. So the story begins with Alucard being summoned by Integra, and she tells him flat out, we have a new mission for you, and I want to talk to you personally because this is going to be heavy for you. So the Alucard is already like, what are you talking about? Like, he's already like, Alucard is like, if you have to talk to me, if like you've summoned me to talk to me in private, like, we've done this dance before. Like, there's nothing you can really say that's gonna make me go, oh my god. And then she goes, it's your home village. So if you're wondering what Resident Evil we're doing Resident Evil Village. Because you think I wouldn't put Alucard against Lady Dimitrescu, you're crazy. So yes, Alucard is revealed that village Inwell Village is his home, where he was born. It's where long before he became Dracula, long before he became Vlad the Impaler, that was his original home, and now it's been taken over by Lady Dimitrescu and the other lords, as well as Mother Miranda. So Alucard ages ago had ownership of that castle. Back his home, like the Tepesh family, had rule over that castle, and now it's been taken over, and Alucard's not having it. But Integra says, "Look, I am sending you, Saris, and Walter, because I need all three of you to get, and I'm even sending the wild geese with you because you need everybody for this. We believe there's some kind of bioweapon that that Millennium is trying to get their hands on, and this woman, who's only known as Mother Miranda, has access to this bioweapon. She tells him about the incident of Raccoon City. She tells him about all these other, moments in history that kind of coincide with other Resident Evil stuff, and she's like, the point being is that, like, these bioweapons that are from the Umbrella Corporation are dangerous. We cannot afford in any way, shape, or form to let these kind of weapons get in the hands of Millennium. Your mission is to go there and annihilate everything you see." So Alucard's like, I'll go, but I am going, to get my, to not only, because now he's even more mad when he discovers that Dimitrescu and her daughters have more or less moved in, and they're not even real vampires. That's even more insulting to him. His original home, before he moved, before Castle Dracula, his home, his birthplace, has been moved in by not real vampires. So now Alucard's like, them bitches gonna die. So, yeah. Meanwhile, in America, there is a similar conversation going on in Belle Rev. Basically, Amanda Waller has gathered together Peacemaker, Deadshot, Harley, Nightshade, King Shark, Weather Wizard. Who else was on this team? Multiplex and Dwarf Star. Who else was who was the 8? Yeah, it was 8 members. So she's brought together those characters because there's a mission that is needed to be taken in Europe. So she tells them, we've discovered that this woman, Miranda, she used to be a scientist. Now she's gone off the fucking rails. She's making bioweapons, and we believe she's in touch with Millennium. And and they're like, what's Millennium? We know all about these other, these other groups like Cobra, not that G.I. Joe Cobra, DC Cobra. We know about Cobra, Hive, the Blood, the League of Assassins. Who the hell's Millennium? And and Waller goes on, the reason why we haven't really engaged Millennium is because that's a European thing. We don't deal with that shit because it's being handled by another agency in Europe. So we don't we usually stay out of their way. This is not that case because now we've discovered they are getting in touch in this little European village. Go in there, kill everything if you have to, even if it's not infected, but destroy any and all bioweapons, because it turns out, as you can probably imagine, Amanda Waller had a hand in helping Miranda get a hold of that shit, of that variation of the T-virus. Why? Because Miranda used to work for Checkmate. Yep, sucks to suck. So there you go. The two teams head off. The two Suicide Squad is deployed, and yeah. So when Alucard Saris, and the Walter and the Wild Geese arrive, they are immediately beset upon by the Lycans, and Alucard is like, "This is a fucking mockery to everything I am, because I'm not being attacked by real werewolves. That's one thing I can hit. Like, I don't like werewolves, but like, at least they're real. They're a real challenge. This is a mockery to everything I have ever done in my life." And he just goes ape shit on these werewolves. He's just annihilating them left and right. Saris is also bringing out, Harkonnen to just wipe the floor with others, and it just becomes this blood-soaked mess. Meanwhile, on another part of the town, of the village, the Suicide Squad are already dispatched, and they're already dispatching their own werewolves when they're beset upon by, they're beset upon by the horrible machinations of Carl Heisenberg. So yeah, Carl unleashes his monstrosities from his factory upon them. Peacemaker and Deadshot are just trying to shoot through them, and they're like, they run into the propeller head, and they're like, "Didn't I see that in Frankenstein's army?" Yes, I made that joke. Like, didn't I see that in Frankenstein's army? So they're fighting they're fighting their way, eventually getting into town, and eventually, when the villagers see Alucard, they're like, "The Count has returned." Like, they have heard story, like, and Saris is like, "Wait, they have legends of you?" And he's like, "This was my birth home before I moved my family moved further into Romania. This was where I was born. I don't have a lot of memories of it, but it is of my childhood, and it's the last piece of what was formerly me. I kind of want to preserve that." So, yeah. But there are even stories like people who don't believe in Mother Miranda are like, "Holy shit, the Count has returned." The young Count has returned, and yeah. Unfortunately, as they're all like, "Holy shit, the Count's back," a bullet goes flying through and kills someone. It's Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad engage the Hellsing organization. There's bullets flying everywhere. King Shark, because he is a demigod, a lot of people forget that he is a demigod. He actually put some damage on Alucard because he's, and I know what you're already thinking. There's no way Alucard could actually lose a fight to King Shark. While that is true, while I do think that's true, I do think King Shark, because of his demigod origin, can lay some serious hurt on him because he is half god. And Alucard's never really fought something half god before, or even full god before. So while he does beat King Shark, he's like, he does get like bites taken out of him by King Shark, and King Shark's like, "You taste bad," and he's like, "And you taste like filth." So eventually, Waller and Integra both call the squad and the Hellsing team, and they're like, "Knock it the fuck off." So Waller and Integra kind of figured out that both their teams were there and deployed, so they made a call and now have both of them have like this armistice until the mission is done. So the Suicide Squad and the Hellsing team have to work together from here on out. Unfortunately, this doesn't go as well because, this is when the other lords show up and start separating everyone. Like, you've got Carl with fighting Walter and Deadshot, who's like Deadshot's like, I don't even want to... If this old man is here and using wire, I don't want to fuck with this guy. But I am going to shoot anything that he doesn't kill. You have fuck, I forget the wild geese's names. Holy shit, it's been a while since I've watched Hellsing. But yeah, they team up with Peacemaker, and they all realize he's nuts. Nightshade works with, and some of the other team members work with Ceres, but Alucard alone goes to Castle Dimitrescu, and he's like, the name was Castle Tepesh, and you're gonna remember that name. So Alucard slaughters his way through Dimitrescu's daughters until he finally gets to her. The two do battle, but Alucard, proving that, because he's a real vampire, he can actually, do some fucking damage, takes down Dimitrescu the same way he took down Luke Valentine. And he takes back the castle. The bioweapons that were supposed to be given to Millennium were destroyed, and the Major's like, "Oh well, it was all good fun. Another time." So by the end of it, everyone's packing up and getting ready to leave. Alucard's like, "No, I think I'm going to stay for a bit if my master will allow it." And Integra's like, "You've earned it. I will give you here's your 2 weeks vacation." So Alucard gets to sit in his home, his ancestral home once more, and he gets to just rest for 2 weeks and has to he starts tearing down portraits and shit like that, and he's just putting all of his old he's looking for throughout the castle for anything that was taken down by Lady Dimitrescu and put back out in the castle, and he renames it. It becomes renamed from Castle Dimitrescu to Castle and he renames, instead of Castle Tepesh this time, he names it Castle Dracula. So yeah, there you go, guys. That is pretty much my Hellsing Resident Evil Suicide Squad crossover. This was a lot of fun to really make. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I did have to do a tiebreaker because the other one was Alien, Space Dandy, and Star Trek. That was evenly voted for. And like I said, if you would like to have if you would like to be part of the three-way crossover polls, or just polls in general for videos to do on Patreon and on YouTube, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, and just hit the first tier. That is only $5 a month. That also gives you access to movie reviews that I do. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.